You know what? Let's grab number 10. Grab Marco Rubio. Let me. I'm going to save James Clyburn. James Clyburn's almost as bad. Well, Rubio's not bad. What James Clyburn? Is it James Clyburn? Yep, former head honcho of the Congressional Black Caucasians in the House of Representatives is out. I mean, these are veiled threats that he's making to people about, you better be careful what you say about our president. You better be very careful how you treat this president. You better be very, very careful how you treat this president when it comes to the Iran deal and a number of other things. Let's get to Rubio. This is the Christian Broadcasting Network, CBN. Chief Political Correspondent David Brody interviewing Marco Rubio late yesterday. Question: does your deep faith drive public policy decisions on social issues like traditional marriage?
We are at the water's edge of the argument that mainstream Christian teaching is hate speech. Because today we've reached a point in our society where if you do not support same-sex marriage, you are labeled a homophobe and a hater. So what's the next step after that? After they've done going after individuals, the next step is to argue that the teachings of mainstream Christianity, the catechism of the Catholic Church, is hate speech. And that's a real and present danger.
You think Rubio's got a point there? You better, I'll tell you, you better not sweep this one away. Folks, you better not think this is a little bit over the top. He is right on the money. This is exact. In fact, I would even go further. I think mainstream Christianity is the target and has been for I can't tell you how long. Before I was born, Christianity has been the biggest enemy of the American left, or any left. Organized religion in general, but Christianity is the number one enemy of these people. You'll notice they've made friends with militant Islam. The left will not stand for any criticism of militant Islam, right? You start drawing cartoons of the prophet, they're the first to jump on your case, right? Democrats and the left, they are out to condemning any criticism of Islam. They've sidled up. Why? Well, Islam has an enemy. In their mind, their enemy is Christianity. So there's a commonality there. And I don't care, folks, maybe this is another one of those things you're just not supposed to say, but I'm sorry, it's undeniable. Okay, tell me I'm wrong. When I say that the left has formed an accord with Islam, tell me I'm wrong. Militant Islam says you can't draw pictures of the prophet. Democrat Party, you can't draw pictures of the prophet. You can't criticize Islam. And they go out of their way not to. We can't call them terrorists. You know the drill. Christianity, it's open season. You can say anything. You can do anything. You can mock anything. And Christians are just supposed to take it. And the reason we're supposed to take it is we're the majority. The majority has to understand. The minorities feel offended. They're going to always be hit on and ripped apart and so forth. You just got to take it, part of being the majority. And that is a relevant factor. I mean, majorities are hated by the people in the minority. The problem for us is that the minorities that we're talking about here, most of them are really tiny, and yet they're winning. They're bullying their way around. It's incredible. And Marco Rubio here is right on the money. Look at Ireland and gay marriage. What was the final vote there? Was it 60%? It was over 60% approving. Now, I have to tell you something. As best I've been able to ascertain, Ireland just didn't do this on its own. There was a lot of American money moving the issue. And there were a lot of American activists over there pushing the issue. And nevertheless, they won. They made it happen. And the Pope, I don't think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the Pope said anything about it. Well, let me tell you where's next then. Italy is going to be next, by design and on purpose. The gay marriage forces will target Italy. And by targeting Italy, they will target Rome. And they'll also go to Milan, fashion central is already the way paved there. Maybe a little bit to Florence. Might even mess with Venice, but certainly Rome and the Vatican. Marco Rubio, Christianity facing a real and present danger in the U.S. due to a growing acceptance for gay marriage. It's not just gay marriage, by the way. It goes back to this Gallup poll celebrating the fall of morality, celebrating the fall of conventional morality. It's not just gay marriage. There's all kinds of things that constitute the fall of age-old morality, which the left has targeted as long as I've been around. So Rubio said, we're at the water's edge of the argument that mainstream Christian teaching is hate speech. Because today we've reached the point in our society where if you do not support same-sex marriage, you are labeled a homophobe and a hater. You will support it. And not only will you support it, you will embrace it and you will love it. It's their own version of Sharia, if you want to know what Sharia is like. Just like with Obamacare. You will participate in Obamacare, and you will like it, and you will promote it, and you will not criticize it. You will support gay marriage. You will promote it. You will love it, and you will accept it. Anything less, and you will be attacked. Rubio said the next step is to argue that the teachings of mainstream Christianity, the catechism of the Catholic Church, is hate speech. And that's a real and present danger. Now, he said earlier this year, also in an interview with a Christian broadcast network, that it's ridiculous and absurd to believe that there's a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. 58% of Americans support same-sex marriage, according to a Quinnipiac University poll earlier this year. 59% of Republicans are opposed to it. Companion story. What is this? Oh, the Pope did weigh in. Oh, I'm sorry, I was just not the Pope. Well, okay, the Pope hasn't weighed in. I said something earlier today. I got a note from somebody about this, about the next target area for the militant gay marriage crowd being Italy. And Pope's going to have to speak up. And I said, I stuttered and I stumbled. And I thought, do I really want to tell him what I really think of it? Don't be surprised if this Pope eventually comes out and supports it as part of the global warming agenda. And there's a different Pope here. He surprises you issue to issue. Anyway, from the UK Guardian, the headline, Vatican says Ireland gay marriage vote defeat for humanity. Vatican diplomat seen as second only to the Pope insists that Saturday's referendum result shows the church must strengthen its commitment to evangelization. A senior Vatican official has attacked the legalization of gay marriage in Ireland. A referendum that overwhelmingly backed marriage equality last weekend was a defeat for humanity, he claimed. This marriage equality, what is wrong with that? Do you people on the left really think that whatever number of thousands of years ago, some rich, fat white guy sat around and defined marriage specifically to exclude homosexuals just because he hated them and wanted to discriminate against them? And there has been this ever since, a quest for marriage equality. Is that what you really think? Marriage equality? Marriage has a definition, or it did. Words mean things. Marriage is a union of a man and a woman. Pure and simple. That's what it is. Now, if you're going to allow people same sex to get married, you better come up with a different term, because that's not what marriage is if words mean things. And words do mean things. And if you're going to change the definition of marriage, then you better be open-minded and permit any change under the umbrella to happen. If marriage is no longer the marriage of a man and a woman, a union of a man and a woman, then what is it? Well, Mr. Limbaugh, if the marriage is now a union of a man or a woman, or it can be a union of a woman and a woman, or a union of a man and a man. Oh, okay. How about this? How about marriage can be the union of two men and one woman? Well, no. Well, why not? You've blown the definition up already. Why can't it be whatever anybody wants to do, as long as they love somebody? I mean, words mean things. Institutions are institutions for a reason. They're not designed by a bunch of people who hope to discriminate against people. The roots of marriage are rooted in decency and goodness and love and child rearing and all of these things that are supposedly to aid society in remaining cohesive and to propagate the race for a whole host of reasons that are important, including bloodlines and everything else. But once you blow that up, it isn't marriage. Marriage is the union of a man and a woman. Look it up anywhere. And this whole notion of marriage equality, as though the designers of marriage did so purposely to discriminate. There wasn't any discrimination involved here. There wasn't any hate. It wasn't as though people devised a institution that specifically and for that reason denied access by others. It's not what the purpose of it was. You know, you people on the left, not everything that happens has had you in the crosshairs. Frankly, you haven't been on that many people's minds through the years. We haven't created all these traditions and institutions to exclude you. It's always been for other reasons that are far loftier. But they come along and claim that it's a discriminatory institution rooted in hatred and bigotry and inequality and so forth. And that's how you get the young people to support it. I mean, young people, of course, embrace the notion of equality and fairness and sameness. And if you go tell these people that just don't have enough years lived in order to have sufficient experience, if you go portray marriage as something that discriminates, well, they don't want to be a part of anything that discriminates because that's not fair, that's not nice, and that's how they've done it. But in the process, they've blown up the definition of a word, and now it can mean anything anybody wants it to mean if they're willing to make a cause out of it. And it's beginning to happen, predictably so. I haven't seen any official, maybe it's happened and I just missed it, but has there been an official redefinition of the term that now specifies that marriage is either the union of a man and a woman, or the union of a man and a man, or the union of a woman and a woman? Has that been codified somewhere? No, what's happened is marriage is not just the union of a man and a woman, and the reason it isn't is because it's unfair, and it's discriminatory, and it's unequal. And all of that is irrelevant to marriage and why it exists and how it came to be and what its purpose is. But you wouldn't know that if you're a young millennial and you've grown up surrounded by never-ending assaults on how that's unfair and that's discriminatory and that's inequality and that's unfair, and you join the quest to make everything the same. Everybody the same, everything equal, and bye-bye individuality and everything that comes with it. So anyway, Vatican says Ireland gay marriage vote defeat for humanity, but Pope didn't say it. It was the biggest Vatican diplomat, senior Vatican official. It's Cardinal Pietro Parolin. Maybe it's Parolin. I was deeply saddened by the result. The Church must take account of this reality, but in a sense that it must strengthen its commitment to evangelization. I think that you cannot just talk of a defeat for Christian principles, but of a defeat for humanity. And up next, after the break, leftists push Italy to follow Ireland on same-sex marriage. And it's a direct assault on Catholic Church. Mark my words, it's next.